Today we will develop a statistics board or a leaderboard, like that sort of thing, which is a part of games. Let me show you how it looks like. So here is my stats activity. So this is how it looks like. So this here is first it's telling us that it's the single player mode. Then it is telling the amount of times player one and the number of times computer one and the number of games that were draws. And similarly, it is telling the same for player one, player two, and draws for the multiplayer mode. So it is giving us statistics of both modes. But let's look at any of our class, single player or multiplayer. Remember, we had a write data function in which we were writing our the number of each wins. Player one wins, player two wins, and player three computer wins and draws all this stuff to this two files. For example, in these three files, we are writing P1 wins, P2 wins, and draws the amount of all three values in separate files. So we were using this function to write them. So let me give you a brief overview. So first we are using this to get directories, then we are using the file class. So file class is used to create or open a new file. So it can first argument is the directory, and then we are giving the name, and this is the name. And then we are creating an object of the file output stream. So file output stream is used to write data to files. So I am using it to write this data in the form of bytes. So first the data is converted into bytes. So then it is written. Uh, the ASCII values are written to the file. Then I'm closing it. So this is how we write data to file. But now we are gonna open the data. First, let's look at our main activity. So here, here we this was our main activity, our starting point, and I created a new button. It is a simple button. You can create it easily. So I created this simple button. Here is the code for it. Let me highlight it for you. Here, this one. So this is the code for it, and I created an on-click method of it called stats, and this is how it's look like. So whenever the user clicks this button, as you know, this code opens a new activity. So we have starting this activity. So this activity will be started as soon as uh, this button is clicked. So this is the default screen of this activity. Um, we have statistics. So this is all simple text views. I have added simple text views to display because I want to display the number of wins with some text. So these are all text views, simple. You already know how to make it. Here is the whole source code which will be in the description. So you can check it there. So let's look at the working of it. So as soon as this activity starts, I'm calling the start function. Let's look at what start does. So first I'm getting the value of all these text views. I'm creating objects. So let me show you IDs of these. So this is the M1, this is the M2, and this is the this is the S1, S2, and S3 for single player mode. And these are the M1, M2, and M3 text views. So I have created these text views here. Then I've created six variables to store the sum of each text view. Then I am reading data. As you can see, I'm reading data. I'm passing in the file name which I wrote in our previous class. Then I'm reading the data, and I'm storing all this data into sums. So each value will be stored into a sum. I could have used an array also. Um then let's look at the read data function. So first I'm getting the files directory. Then I'm creating a file object. This time I want to read that data. That's why I'm using the file input stream class. and I made an object of it. I am using these variables for now, and I have created a new object of this file input stream, and I have passed the file as a parameter, and I will uh, keep reading as soon as data isn't equal to -1. So whenever data gets -1, that is the end of file. So I'm using this while loop to read data until we reach the end of the file. So as you can see here, I'm reading the data, and data will be stored in ASCII form. So it will be in ASCII variable. So like if 65 was written, then 65 will be stored here, right? Then I'm using that as soon as data gets -1, then we break. So we exit of the loop, and here I'm adding the value of sum. So in the sum, I'm storing the numeric value. That is the uh, so this is like in the form of character. So this data is in the form of character. Like I'm getting the numeric value of the data. So whatever the data is, it will return the numeric value of it. So for example, the character 0 or 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is stored into ASCII form. So when this function is called, it converts it into a number. So ASCII of 5 is stored in our writing data, and the numeric value of that ASCII is stored into our sum. So if we wrote 5, we get 5 here, which is stored into some variable. So as soon as file is reaches its end, we close it, and make sure to add this into try blocks, since it is used to for exception handling. And in the end, we are returning the total sum. So we are calculating the sum of all values in the file which we have wrote in the previous class, and then we are calculating it. And then I'm simply setting the text to this string, and then I'm concatenating it with the value of sum1, sum2, sum3, and I'm doing the same with the single player file. So this was our class how we write and wrote data. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching.